everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. I know it's been quite some time since I've uploaded a video, but we've just had so much going on with moving and packing, and it's just been super crazy. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and at the end of the video, if you enjoy what you see, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and any comments you want to leave down below would also be greatly appreciated. So for anybody who doesn't know, my husband is in the military, and we got orders from North Carolina to Florida. So basically what happened was in March, my husband came down to look at houses in a certain area of Florida. And it turned out that he just couldn't find anything, not just that we liked, but that wasn't a complete renovation job. A lot of the houses in the area that we were looking at needed like new foundations, new roofs, like both. It just would have been a lot more work than we were willing to put into a house at this time. 12 years ago, when we lived in Florida, we didn't have kids yet. I was pregnant with my daughter, and we bought a fixer-upper, which essentially we flipped and are now renting. But we just did not want to go through that this time. We're just really busy, and our schedules just kind of like don't allow it right now. So we wound up buying a new build. With that being said, our house was not going to be ready in time for us when we moved down here to Florida. We moved in the beginning of July, and we had to rent a house that was almost an hour away until our new house, this house, was done being built. And it's just been super busy and super crazy ever since we moved in. I honestly thought that the packing and moving process was going to be what took a really long amount of time, and it turns out that settling into this new house has just been beyond time consuming. Basically, because we knew that we were going to be moving into a new house, we left a lot of our furniture that was really quite old in North Carolina. We either sold it or put it on curbside or whatever. We did not take it with us. What we didn't take into account was that the coronavirus is delaying a lot of furniture deliveries. And about a week or so before we moved into this house, we went furniture shopping, we picked out a couch, we were super excited, and then we found out that it wouldn't be arriving for another month and a half. And we're like, what in the world? Like, we have no living room furniture. And I'll put a picture of that up here of what we wound up having and doing. It is not much, you guys. I literally got a free glider on Marketplace, and we have like bean bags and the floor, and that's it until our couch comes. And it's been an adventure, to say the least. We're super thankful and excited to be even living in this house, because it is way bigger than what we normally would have gone with, but it's just taking so much work to get everything done and situated and how we want it. And yeah, luckily our appliances were available. Let's see, the microwave and the dishwasher and the stove came with the house. The stove, however, because of the virus, they couldn't get the one that matched the rest of the appliances. So the deal was they were going to just give us like a rental oven stove combo until the other one came in. However, this is so crazy. If we used it, then we were stuck with it. So I really don't know what the point of giving us a rental stove was if we could not use it in the first place. That just made no sense to me. In the end, it worked out great. They just took some money off of our loan that we could use to go ahead and buy a stove that we liked and that matched. So that's what we did. And then when we bought the house, we had a choice of either having them install really nice wooden blinds or them putting in a refrigerator. We chose for them to put in the blinds because we wanted to pick the style of refrigerator that we had. We really wanted like a refrigerator that has like the side-by-side doors and the freezer on the bottom. So that was that, and luckily, like I said, all of the appliances were available and we were able to get those in without a problem. Let's see, what else? Also, when we've just been renting for so many years, so we haven't really like purchased like nice things, like nice furniture. I mean, I'll post another picture up here. A lot of like the storage that we have are just those like little plastic like drawer cart things. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You can get them at Walmart and Target to hold some of our things. And yeah, like now we're just wanting like nicer stuff, but it's gonna take some time because you know, obviously putting the money into the house and the appliances and new furniture and things like that, like it's just, I feel like it's going to be a process of moving in and getting things how we would like them to be, and that's okay. We just have to be patient. So I know I mentioned in another video that my two older children are going to school. I talked about that in the other video, so I'm not going to really go into it too much, but they're doing really well. They love school. They're so happy to be back. And I mean, my daughter is the one that is more social. Like, she had very good friends where we used to live. My son is much more flexible and kind of like easygoing, and he really didn't mention that it was bothering him. But it's so interesting because now that he is going back to school, he's like, every day he comes home and tells me, Mom, I had the best day ever. And he is just making friends, and I think it really was affecting him, like whether he realized it or not, it was really affecting him. And I can tell that now just by how happy he is every day when he comes home from school. So I think that we made the right choice for our family. I mean, everybody's situation is different. You just have to, you know, feel it out and do what's best for your family. We did have a little virus scare the other day. The little one, the toddler, she was fine all day. And then about 20 minutes before dinner, she got fussy, which is kind of normal because I just figured she was like getting hungry. She was kind of a little bit tired. So I started getting dinner ready and I went to pick her up and I'm like, ooh, like you feel warm. So I took her temperature and she had a fever of 102.6. And I was like, what in the world? Like, you were fine all day. So I gave her Tylenol, and the next morning she was just burning up, temperature of about 103. I was like, all right, we're just gonna go straight to the pediatrician. Well, on the way to the pediatrician, her eyes kind of started like dropping a little bit, and I could see her in the rear view mirror, and I was yelling out her name, and she was just zoning out the window and like would not respond. And it scared me so bad that I went straight to the emergency room. And oh my gosh, it was like a terrifying experience, because I think that if we weren't living in this world with the coronavirus, it wouldn't have been so scary to me. I would have just been like, okay, she just has a fever, she's not feeling good, like whatever. But I was petrified, because that was the first thing that I thought of. And it didn't help that my 9-year-old son that day had told me, he was like, Mom, like, what if I have the virus and I'm asymptomatic, and gave it to her? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, first of all, you're way too smart. Second of all, that's a strong possibility. Like, that's not out of the picture. Like, that could be very true. So took her to the emergency room. They tested her for the flu. They tested her for strep throat. They tested her for a UTI. They did a full blood panel, and they did a chest x-ray. After all was said and done, the doctor was like, you know, we're not doing like the rapid coronavirus testing here. I still don't think that, you know, that's necessarily off the table. And so he suggested that we go and get a rapid COVID test done. Those are really hard to come by, in case you've ever had to try and find one. They don't, sorry, there's all kinds of construction going on my road, and it's right outside my window. But yeah, they're hard to find. Like, the regular tests, I guess, are more readily available, but the rapid tests, I had to drive, this sounds funny, we live in Florida. I had to drive to Alabama to have this test done. Now, that sounds ridiculously crazy, but we don't live that far from Alabama. It was about almost an hour's drive. It wasn't too bad, but then I'm on the phone with my mom, and she's like, oh, is it one of those places where you have to wait online for 4 hours? And I'm like, well, I hope not. I think she's been watching the news too much. No, it was not a 4-hour wait. We went in, we checked in electronically, and we were like in and out really quick. The test was done and over with in 15 minutes, and we had our results and walked out with a negative COVID test. So that was great. So the ER doctor had said, like, everything looks fine. If that test came back negative, then odds are she just had like a regular run-of-the-mill virus. She is also teething. She's getting like 4 teeth in at the same time. I've mentioned that before too. She always gets like, you know, a bunch of teeth at once. Poor child, like, she cannot catch a break and just get 1 tooth at a time. She has to get a bunch at a time. So I don't know, it could have been a little bit of teething. I still think it was a little bit of a virus, not the coronavirus. But anyway, that's been keeping us on our toes. And yeah, so anyway, I really want to post like pictures or do a video, a house tour, but I am not even kidding you. This house right now is just still filled with boxes that need to be unpacked, and there's just really like no place to put anything, because like I said, the furniture's kind of on hold, things are all jumbled up. It's just kind of insane, and I'd like to film it when it looks decent and not like a hot mess that it is right now. So anyway, if you like this video, again, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I would really greatly appreciate that. And as always, stay safe, be kind, and I will see you next time with other updates. And I do plan on uploading a lot more now that we're in this house and my life is a tiny bit more relaxed and semi-normal than it was before. So I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.